Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to show you one of the models from Einhell's Power Exchange range, the GEPS 1815 LIBL pruning saw. You'll see it's a pretty compact machine and also quite efficient. But I won't say any more. Let's check it out in the next segment. See ya a bit. So here's the pruning saw in question, the Einhell GEPS 1815 LIBL. This machine is equipped with a brushless motor and is compatible with all Einhell Power Exchange batteries. That means if you already own tools and especially batteries from the same range, you can reuse them with this machine. As for the motor, like I mentioned earlier, it's a brushless motor, which means better battery life management and a longer lifespan for the motor. When it comes to handling, as you can see, it's still a pretty compact machine since it's a little over 45 centimeters long. And as for the weight, it weighs 1.11 kilos. So that's the weight of the machine without the battery. And honestly, it's a relatively lightweight machine that's easy to handle one-handed with a good grip that covers the entire area, the whole part in contact with your skin, and the trigger fits nicely under your fingers with this little safety feature here that prevents the pruner from starting up on its own. And as for the chain, know that it measures 158 millimeters long, which allows this pruner to cut through wood up to 125 millimeters in diameter. And to adjust its tension, it's really simple. There's a small lever here that lets you tighten or loosen the chain's tension depending on your needs and how you're going to use it. And to increase safety, there's a small plastic cover above the blade that will prevent your hand from coming into contact with the chain. And as for the accessories that come with this pruner, you should know that most of the time it's sold bare, meaning without a battery or charger, but the brand still provides a small protective cover so you can store your pruner more easily and avoid damaging the blade or simply injuring yourself. Right before we get into a demonstration of this pruner in action, let's talk a bit about its technical specifications. So earlier, I mentioned the brushless motor and the chain length, which is 158 millimeters. This will allow you to cut wood up to 125 millimeters thick. And just so you know, in terms of speed, we're looking at 4.8 meters per second. So it's not the fastest machine you can find on the market, but it will still let you make cuts that are pretty quick and, above all, quite effective. Now, let's see it in action, starting with cutting a fairly thin branch. So, as you can see, it's fast, it's efficient. All right, now we're stepping it up a bit with a much thicker branch this time, and it's dry wood. Of course, it takes a little longer, but again, no problem at all. As you saw, we're dealing with a compact and efficient machine, since it's actually 45 centimeters long, a little over 45 centimeters, and it's also quite lightweight at 1.11 kilograms. That's the weight of the machine without the battery. So in terms of use, you really won't get tired using it. Of course, if you're doing a lot of cuts in a row at arm's length, especially with a 4 amp battery, then it might start to tire you out. But honestly, it's a machine that I find pretty lightweight, and that still makes pretty efficient cuts. Because as I mentioned in the presentation, you can go up to 125 millimeters in diameter. So personally, I haven't had to go that far yet, but honestly, for other types of cuts, especially big branches, it really hasn't been a problem at all. On the motor side, it's also equipped with a brushless motor, which means better battery life management and also a longer lifespan for the motor. As for performance, this isn't the fastest machine on the market, since with this one you can reach up to 4.8 meters per second. Well, there are models out there that go up to 6 meters per second. So it's slightly lower compared to those models, but at the same time, it's not the same price either. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But in any case, with this machine, that rotation speed will already let you do quite a bit of cutting, and especially pruning without any trouble. And actually, since we're talking about price, you should know that this pruner usually sells for around 100 euros, a little less than 100 euros. Of course, it depends on the retailer, so I think that's a pretty reasonable price considering its performance, its compact size, and especially its brushless motor, which will let you keep this pruner for a long time, provided of course that you take proper care of it. And above all, make sure to regularly lubricate and sharpen the chain. As always, if you're interested in this pruner, feel free to check out the description. I'll include the references for the best sellers, at least those offering this machine at the best price. Alright, this video is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in any case, I'll see you very soon for a new video. It was great seeing you today. Take care and have a good one.